Tell me your thoughts on ego. I feel like it's a really interesting topic, and no matter how you feel like you've got a grasp on it, it can keep tripping you up. I definitely find that and have found that. I know yesterday I was thinking about this as I was going on a very long run, and it was meant to be zone 2 run, so it was meant to be slow, and anyone that knows running or does any kind of cardio, the idea is that over time you run at this slow rate, and then eventually your heart gets used to that. You can then go quicker and you're going to have a lower heart rate. That's the idea. It takes a long time, but you've got to really check your ego, because you're running much slower than you otherwise normally would. So I knew as I was running this how much of a challenge it was. And even when I got to the end, so I did this very long run. When I got to the end, I finished it and I was so shattered because I'd gone so slow for so long. And then on my watch, my trusty Garmin gives me a zone 2, tempo is what it gave me, a tempo score. So it wasn't even aerobic, like it was tempo. So it said, because my heart rate, it was a bit hilly, and so my heart rate did go up a few times. So after all of that effort, me going so slow for so long, it didn't even give me the zone 2. So then how interesting that I felt the need then to go, and I know lots of runners will do this, go on there and justify, either delete it altogether or justify why it was so why it was a slow run. So and let me know, is there been something where you've felt like you had to justify yourself because you wanted to show up in a certain way and you didn't? How interesting is that? Because I think, ideally we should be evolving to a point where we don't need to be justifying to anyone. It's such an interesting and kind of silly idea. And I find it interesting because this is the area that I work in. I work with people. I'm a hypnotherapist. My name's Wendy Gadsby, if you don't know me, and help people really to have their own self-belief so that they don't need to justify themselves to others. And often people spend so much time comparing themselves to others that it becomes hindering, because it stops you it does stop you moving forward. It can stop you moving forward, absolutely, because you're filled with doubt. So often people don't even try. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Let me know of a time when perhaps egos got in your way, whether it worked out for you or against you, because sometimes absolutely it for sure has a place and it can help you move forward as well. Anyway, I'll be interested to know what your thoughts are on that. All right, have a lovely day. Bye.